Man himself, Matthew McConaughey, joins us now. Matthew, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thank you so much. Great to see you.
Every film that I've seen him in, he's always played such a really good role.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
You know, as a Texan, it's just an honor. I mean, you're Texas royalty, so to get the opportunity to interview you, we're so happy about it. So, Matthew, tell us about the inspiration for the book. It's different.
Sure.
It's something that you've never done before.
Oh, he got a book out, okay?
No, it's not. So, look, I found myself a couple years ago getting a little cynical. And cynicism, that's a chosen disease that I swore I said I'm never going to fall prey to.
Right.
And I was looking around at the world, reading the news, and going, man, there's not a lot of reasons to believe when you look at the evidence. And I'm not ready to quit believing in God, in myself, in you, in each other. And so I started writing a lot of poetry, and I found that I had written a lot of poetry over the last 30 years.
Okay.
Gathered it all. A lot of them are poems, a lot of them are prayers, and it's as much for me as for everyone else. I think belief is in short supply. I think everyone's looking for it. I think it's necessary.
And I will be honest, I completely agree with this. With all of the news, everybody's opinions, and all these politics, it's hard to believe like what is true. You know what I'm saying? You kind of got to form your own research analysis. You can't really go by what the news stations are saying. Each news stations have their own belief. They're not on one accord. Too much opinions and not enough facts.
The doubt wins, we all lose. And that's what I'm selling here, belief.
Reading your book, it's beautiful and it's so lyrical, and you really just dance through all of these beautiful poems. What brought you to that point when you write about, I think you were 18 years old, you were in a bathtub and you started writing poems, and this is a collection of poems from your entire life, right?
Yes, it is. Well, the one you're talking about when I was 18, yeah, I was an exchange student over in Australia. If you read Green Lights, it's a pretty carny story.
And that's pretty dope that he writes poems and stuff like that. He said he's been doing it for a lot of years, so definitely would be something I would be interested in.
A year that I had where I was pretty lost and looking, a little bit going out of my mind and trying to keep my sanity. So I started off writing poems, asking the big questions, trying to figure out the meaning of life, what the hell was going on, just trying to navigate. And I continued writing. A lot of the poems in the book are, from times I think when we all write, when we are a little bit wobbly, lost and looking, but a lot of them are also from times when I was feeling very clear, when my faith was very strong.
I love the fact that he wrote a book. He's got poems, and I feel the same way too. Just putting out life experiences, trying to find a way to understand life. When
I was catching green lights in life and things were going well, poems about why is that? What was the rhythm of life when I was in the flow? And a lot of them are just humorous in there as well. A lot of them, anybody can read and go, yep, I've been there. And, if you can make something rhyme, if you can make a good word rhyme, it's a little easier to digest. If it's got a little rhythm to it and it's got to the rhyme, then you can even sway to it. And so in some ways, yeah, I'm selling Sunday morning like a Saturday night. And as I said, it's not just belief in not just belief in God. It is personally for me, but for a lot of people, belief in ourselves, belief in our children, in the future, in each other, and I think we need more of it.
Lawrence and I were talking before this interview. What we love about you is you've gone back to Austin, you're raising your family, where you grew up, you haven't forgotten your roots.
Coming back to Texas, look, it's where I'm from. Lawrence, you know what it's like. And plus, you got family around here. As I've said before, I like it when a mile feels like a mile, 60 minutes feels like an hour. And it's nice that my 93-year-old mom is just about 30 minutes north of me, and my brother's right around me, too.
Listen, one thing I will say is nothing like going back home. Even when I moved out, I would go back home, and just the smell, the feeling, it's nothing like being close to family, and sometimes we stray away. We kind of are trying to achieve our goals, and daily life draws us away from our family and things we used to do when we were younger, but it's always nice to go back to our roots. I can kind of relate to this.
I wanted my family to be raised around here with their family around them.
Matthew, when I look at your life and your public profile, I think of the word stable, because there's always so much chaos in Hollywood and in the entertainment industry. Can you talk about how your faith has guided you through this? Because, I'm the same way, preacher's kid, and it's tough sometimes, but I feel like the faith is the thing that keeps you rooted.
When we're in the middle of the chaos, we feel like it's on us and on us only, and how in the heaven or hell are we going to get out of it? Faith being something that we can on our own in the 4 a.m. solitude with ourselves, as well as in the masses in the arena of millions of people. Faith is something, a truth, that a stability, that where our head and heart connected with our spirit, where we can feel stable and go and trust ourselves, trust that sometimes this too shall pass. Trust that I'm playing the longer game. No.
And I will say, like, you know, when times are like super hard or you're confused or, man, things are rough, you got an exam you're trying to take, you know, and you have so much to study. Life is just hitting you very hard. You have to have faith in succeeding, or that something's going to turn out well. You have to. You have to keep your faith, because if you don't, it's just going to draw you down a very narrow hole, very dark path, and it's not somewhere you want to be. And at the end of the day, you're never always down. And one thing I would always say, and I always tell people is, like, even if you're at this level in life, you're never going to stay at that level. You're always going to progress. Life changes, things go on, you know? But if you keep your faith and you keep the same path that you're going, you stay dedicated, as long as you have faith, you're always going to achieve anything you put your mind to. I always keep that thought when it comes to anything I do. Like when I'm doing content, when I'm playing sports, when I used to practice, and when I was in school taking exams, I'm like just having faith in the fact that I trust my instincts. I trust that I'm going to put the right answers on the paper. I'm walking in the faith that I'm going to succeed. I know I'm going to succeed. You have to have that mindset.
We're in the immortal race. This is small stuff. This inconvenience that I'm in right now. And believe in that and understanding that helps us get through a lot of crises. And it's not tomfoolery. It's not foolish optimism. It's real.
What's your advice for people that are really down on their situations?
Well, sometimes I think we need to be a little easy on ourselves, and sometimes we need to be harder on ourselves.
And it's true. We got to be a little easier on ourselves, because you could look at your life and be like, man, my life sucks. Like, I'm not where I want to be, or like my worlds are crashing down on me, right? But you got to think like this. There's somebody out there that has a worse life than you. Like, they're experiencing things. They're actually dealing with way more hardship than you're dealing with, right? Everybody's like, oh no, I'm not worried. I'm only worried about myself. I'm not worried about nobody else. But think about this one picture. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes. There's always going to be somebody out there doing worse than you. So you got to keep the faith, and you got to always remember that. If you remember that, it would help you keep on going. It would help you feel better about your situation. You're never going to stay down forever. If you have faith, you will always get lifted up. Everybody goes through difficult times. Eventually, there's a turning point. Turning Point USA. You succeed. I don't want anybody to ever feel like they're alone in something or feel like their world is crashing down. Always think about keeping the faith and the fact that somebody else could be having life way worse than you.
Sometimes we got to go, oh, well, I'm tired of forgiving you, McConaughey. It's the 14th time I've forgiven you for the same damn thing. You're a repeat offender. How many times are we going to go back and say, forgive me? No. Yeah. I believe God wants us to have our hands on the wheel. We cannot rely on fate alone. It is also free will, our choice.
While you're keeping faith, don't just quit. Just let life hit me and I'm just going to keep my faith and hopefully things change for myself. No, you need to work hard at whatever you're doing. You need to wake up every day with the mindset, yeah, I'm going to achieve this goal. It's two things you have to do here. Keep the faith and put the work in. You'll always succeed every time.
And those are not two opposite things. I believe that's where faith and religion lives, that it is a mix of fate and free will. And I don't believe that God's saying, yeah, just rely on fate, man. What's going to happen is going to happen. It doesn't matter what you do. No, it does.
It does.
And that's where self-reliance and faith don't necessarily contradict each other. It's where,
because somebody could have full faith, right? They're not doing nothing to actually help themselves get to where they need to go. That's like a magic trick. I guess it's just going to pop up. Success is just going to pop up on their lap in front of them, and they're just going to get successful. Like, no, you have to work towards it and have some faith. You will succeed.
A little taste of what they're going to read in the book.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Y'all as well. Have a great day.